Hello, everyone. Welcome you all to our information day at the English department. And before we start, a little bit introductions about myself. I am Brian, and I am a year 2 student at the English department, and I'm currently studying the English and Applied Linguistics. And I'm also one of the student ambassadors of our English department. And it is such an honor to be able to represent our department and sharing my experiences in studying this specific program, as well as the subjects offered by our department. And first thing first, the subject that I'm going to share with all of you is called ENGL 2001, English for Professional Communication. And the reason why I chose this particular subject to share with all of you is because as English and linguistic students, it is essential to know all aspects of English. For instance, English grammar, English pronunciation, and it is also equally important to know the knowledge about communication. For instance, what's communication? And what are the many aspects of communication? And what are the theories behind communication? And to be more specific in this particular subject, how do we communicate in professional contexts? And that is also one of the many objectives of this subject, as well as the English communication skills and presentation skills. So, okay. Please help me. Okay, that's all. So in this class, what we did was we kind of analyzed a number of business communication cases in class. And we also, one of the objectives is to be able to identify those key issues within the communication process. And so throughout this course, we were able to develop some practical skills, for example, analytic skills and communication skills. And we are also able to present our findings and the problems as well as the potential solutions to our audience in a professional manner. And that is also one of the huge emphasis of our of this particular course. And after all, it all really goes down to this very questions. How do we communicate appropriately in professional settings? So here comes the very main focus of today, my assignment, the assignment that I was asked to do. So essentially what I was asked to do, what we was asked to do was this, we were given this case of business communication. And in this case, the West Indies Yacht Club Resort when culture supply. And so what we were doing was we kind of reading between the lines of the case studies. And then we tried to identify what happened within this organization, and with a special focus on the cultural differences aspect. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the preparation that we did for this presentation. So I kind of break it down into 2 stages. The first one is examining the given business case. And the second one is to discuss and to combine the ideas that we discussed in class, as well as we started to assign responsibilities and tasks to each group member. So at this very first stage, what we did was kind of reading in between lines of those case studies, and we started to extract those key information in class. And also we have this activities in class where we started to do some kind of background research, asking questions. For example, what's the culture in this specific resort, and what is the location of this resort, and what are the exact cultural differences between the locals and the managers from the United States. And after that, we came to define the key issues within the organizations and also analyze the why such issues happened. So at this stage too, we kind of gathered individuals' findings, everybody's ideas together, and then put them down on a sheet. And then we started to discuss what to include in our presentation. And we also structured our presentation in a professional manner, so to present a presentable presentation to our audience. And last but not least, we assigned responsibility and tasks to each group member. So this is the portion that I was responsible for. So by analyzing this problems, specifically the high expatriate turnover rate, I was able to identify these following three underlying causes. They were first, local labor regulations, very strict local labor regulations. And secondly, and most importantly, the culture differences between the locals and expatriate managers. And what we found out was the power distance between the locals and the managers from the states are huge. And one of the observations is that BV Islanders, which also the locals, tend to accept more accessible approaching superiors, and they kind of also pursued this friendship kind of relationship with their subordinates. And to justify these findings and also explain these findings, I incorporated Hofstede's cultural dimensions theories into my presentation. So what this kind of analysis revealed is that a very chaotic management and operational problems within the organization. And so one of the other things we need to do is to find out the solutions for such problems. So following the analysis of the problems, we started to troubleshoot the problems that I just mentioned. So what I did here is I proposed recommendations to address the problems before. So the solutions called, well, I kind of proposed a programs called mentorship programs. So by pairing up 1 expatriate managers with 3 locals to encourage them to work together to minimize the power distance between locals and expatriate managers. That would also help them to become friends and create a more collaborative and supportive environment within the organization. As for the for retaining the expatriate managers, we also proposed a kind of negotiations with the British Virgin Island government to extend the expatriate work permits as to help those expatriate managers to stay for a longer period of time. And for the last resort, to extend the contract within the organization so that the expatriate managers can stay for longer time. And last, what I've learned from this specific course is, well, the most important things I think we can all agree is the communication skills, especially within a professional context. And I was able to apply those kind of communication skills in many aspects. Well, for occasions such as today, I applied those skills in my presentation as well. And again, the other things that I learned from this class is also the presentation techniques, which I also did kind of include in my presentation together. And last but not least, the importance of group collaboration. So in universities, you have a lot of opportunities to work with your group mates, with your classmates. And it is important to know that the importance of group collaborations, because it is important to work with your classmates towards the common goals in order to achieve the goals in your assignment. And that's pretty much everything that I want to share with all of you today. Thank you very much.